Hello and welcome back to Tits, Tums and All Things Mum. I'm here with the lovely Victoria today from Mum Means Business. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you.
Thank you for coming on. You've travelled quite a way today as well, haven't you?
Yeah, and I'm so grateful to you for giving me the opportunity to have 4 hours in the car by myself.
Literally, whenever I say to people, are you okay to travel to the studio? They're like, oh my God, yes. Like a 2-hour drive, absolutely.
Yeah.
I normally think that they'll be like, no, that's too far. But 2 hours in the car on your own is like the dream, isn't it?
Heaven.
If you've got like a coffee, a podcast on or whatever music you like, it's just the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, no Frozen soundtrack.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was amazing.
Chuck a bit of traffic my way. It's beautiful. Absolutely love it. Yeah, so welcome. Could you start by telling us a bit about yourself?
I'll try. Yeah, so I am Victoria. I am a photographer. I've been a photographer for 15 years and I'm a mum of 2. So I had a COVID baby and then a COVID
Same
plus
thing.
1. Yeah. And yeah, I found the adjustment and the shift in motherhood, I'm not going to say traumatic, it sounds really dramatic. I love being a mum.
Yeah, it's traumatic.
But it was like seismic.
Yeah.
Like I really struggled to think about and imagine what was next for me as a woman, because everything that had gone before didn't seem to fit again now. And that was, obviously we had the pandemic, which is a big thing in itself. But yeah, so I was a wedding photographer and it just didn't make sense as a mum because it's all your weekends. It's time away from the kids. Yes, it was flexible, but it just, all that traveling, I just couldn't imagine it. And I had this baby and then 2 babies in quick succession. And so at one point I was like, I'm just going to have to kill it because I don't see how that can work. And I'd done some work for a charity beforehand and that had sort of naturally come to an end. And I just couldn't envisage what my life was going to look like. And eventually I sort of came out of the fog a little bit and I sort of relaunched the business, concentrating on family and newborn and maternity photography, which has been great. And I decided to go all in on film. So it's analog. So it's the old fashioned stuff that like you used to go and collect in those wallets from Boots with your mum. And so that's a bit different. I think when everyone's got their iPhone, you're able to offer something that stands out from the crowd a little bit. So I did that and that's been great. But I still just felt I was just really interested in this whole question of like motherhood, business, how does like ambition sit with nurture and just sort of recalibrating yourself when you become a mum, because it's a whole new world of responsibility and there's so much joy in it, but it's also fucking hard work. Am I allowed to swear?
You are allowed to swear. This is me. I'm just always effing and blinding on this podcast.
It's hard work and you don't get a minute to think.
No.
And so even just working through some of that stuff, like making a plan for yourself, you kind of don't even have the headspace to think about what you want to do. And you're so overstimulated. I remember my partner saying to me once, well, I'll give you some time. Like, I'll take the kids for a bit. What do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do.
Who knows?
And all of that. So I feel like I'm kind of just coming out of the trenches, but then my eldest starts school. She started this month, which is a big deal. And I know that you have a little one just started as well.
He's my last one to go to school as well. So I've got all this time now.
Yeah.
I actually got bored on Tuesday.
That's amazing.
I know. Because I was meant to be working, but I like literally the day before was given the day off and I was like, huh? What do I do with myself? So it was weird.
Yeah, and you don't know whether to go to sleep or to go and try and see a friend or to go shopping. Or
I nearly started a new project and I was like, don't do it. Because I'm terrible for like always starting something new when I'm a little bit bored.
But there's this thing as well about productivity, isn't there? Like if you have 5 minutes, you use it, because there's also the housework and all the kind of domestic labour, which still falls predominantly to mum. And so you just fill the unforgiving minute all the time. And I'm exactly the same as you. And so if I have a bit of headspace, I probably will just fill it with something, or I'll go and paint a wall. Like you just almost can't calm down.
No.
And so now she started school, I'm actually now up against this like school hour thing.
Yeah.
And I just started getting really interested. I remember thinking back in June, all social media, all the mums in the whole world seem to be, who were freelancing or who had businesses, were like, are you getting ahead?
Yeah.
Are you scheduling all your social media content for the whole of August because you need to do it now?
Yeah.
And are you kind of like speaking to your clients and communicating with them that you're not going to be able to do so much work? And everyone seemed to be in like this frenzy all through like June and early July, gearing up for the summer holidays.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm in it and I'm sort of doing that myself, like planning, and it doesn't work very well. And I was hearing increasingly like stories of mums who had difficulty trying to go back to work after maternity, or they'd, asked for flexible working and it had been denied, or they just couldn't make it work, or they were being asked to do kind of 5 days work but in 3 days.
Yeah.
Or they just felt like that corporate model of the job that they had didn't really fit or allow them to be the mum they wanted to be.
Yeah, I did exactly that. I'm an intensive care nurse, and I freaked out. I went into massive freak out mode after having kids, and I applied for another job. I got another job, not in intensive care, because I was like, I can't do this. I can't do 12-hour shifts. I can't get up for 5 a.m. when my babies had me awake at
3:45,
like all the times in the night. So I literally was about to leave, but I absolutely adore intensive care nursing. So I was a bit heartbroken that I was leaving a job that I love. So I didn't leave, and I'm doing it, but it's really, really tough. But some people, they do make that leap and go off and become self-employed or find a job that would work better around their life, even if it means leaving a job that they love. Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. It's, I think the kind of change where you become a mum anyway, and if you have some time on maternity, it does give you like a pause for reflection.
Yeah.
Like naturally, it's a very reflective time. And a lot of people might think, well, am I actually happy in my job? Is it a job that I kind of just fell into because I followed that traditional path? And is it fulfilling me? Is it what I want to be doing in 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah.
And there is a kind of pause where you're taken out of your job, even if it's only for like 2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah.
And you can kind of get some perspective and look back and think, is this what I actually want to be doing? And a lot of that is to do with the people as well. Like if you're having some beef in work, or if it feels like it's been made difficult for you, or you feel anxiety over your job, like is it going to be there when I go back?
Yeah.
And it feels insecure.
Yeah.
And I think when you're a new mum, you want to feel secure and safe, like you're at your most vulnerable.
Yeah.
And so I think it does cause a lot of women to kind of just step back and think about what they want.
Yeah.
And increasingly, the hours don't allow them to do drop off and pick up.
Yeah.
And they want to be present, because we've had that model by our mums. For a lot of us, our mums were there every drop off.
My mum didn't go back to work until I was in like maybe secondary school or even like late primary school.
Yeah.
And she was just there every day.
Yeah.
And even when she wasn't there, the village was there. So I lived next door my great-grandparents, opposite my grandparents.
Wow. Yeah.
My auntie lived up the road. So like there was always someone there, but we don't have those villages anymore. I'm still waiting for my village.
Yeah, I know.
Where is it? But it's really
myth,
tough.
isn't it?
Yeah.
These days, like we just don't. Yeah, that support network is often broken for a lot of people. And we have that. I mean, I don't know about you. Perhaps you had the same experience. Like I just have these memories of feeling so safe because my mum was always there.
Yeah.
And she was so dependable, reliable. And I don't necessarily remember like everything we did, after pickup on a school day. But I just remember that feeling of security and safety.
Yeah.
That she was present, and I want my kids to have that.
Yeah.
And so I just started hearing sort of anecdotally all of these stories from mums who were looking for another way to do things because the system just didn't seem to fit for them.
Yeah.
And then I just had this mad idea that because I really like talking, I should just start a podcast and start asking them to share their stories.
Yeah.
Because I think there's no kind of like collective of mothers in business. There's a lot for kind of women in business, but to be really specific on mothers.
Yeah.
And it's this idea that actually, there's all these words like mumpreneur that are so kind of stigmatized. And there's this thought that if you're a mum with a business, that you're just kind of faffing. Like it's a bit of a hobby.
Yeah.
Maybe you get 50 quid every now and again.
Yeah.
And actually there are women really working so hard and still having to take care of all their parental responsibilities, you know, keep their house in some sort of order, you know, do homework, you know, organize play dates, do all the stuff that comes with that mental load, and are also in those like cracks of time building a business that they really care about.
Yeah.
And so I just got really interested in this, and it kind of lights me up to hear other people doing this thing that I'm also trying to do. And yeah, so the podcast was born. Like, I think I launched it July, so it's just a baby.
Amazing.
But yeah,
I love that. Do you follow Mother Pucker on?
Yeah.
So she talks about a lot of this and a lot about the fact that the work system was not made for mums, and that so many mums are kind of left out when it comes to, like, once you've had kids, you don't have that flexible working, you don't have that support from your workplace. I'm incredibly fortunate that I only work 15 hours in intensive care, so like they're absolutely brilliant at the flexible working, and I've been off sick with my children, like carers leave, so many times, and they never question it or make me feel bad. But not all workplaces are like that. Some places will make mums feel bad for having to be off sick looking after their children, or won't honour their flexible working requests. And so it's really hard for mums to work a traditional, you know, corporate job and still be a mum, which is, I guess, why so many people do go freelance, because of the flexibility around school hours and stuff. But then that's an extra pressure, because you're having to fit that freelance work in the tiny little pockets of time that you have. And that's why we're often up till midnight working. Because,
oh, you too?
I literally had this conversation with one of my closest friends last night, who she's just started a YouTube series for kids called Millie's Playhouse, and she has like 10 jobs and they're all freelance jobs. But she was like, I'm literally working till midnight, and then I'm up really early to, like, you know, get the kids sorted, do the school run. Then I do my 9 to 5. Then I'm doing like my freelance stuff. And she's just like, but I'm still poor. Like, I'm working all these hours and I'm still poor. What's going on? And it's really tough.
No, it's really, really hard. And I would never suggest to anyone that it isn't. I mean, I love all the stuff that Anna Whitehouse talks about.
Oh yeah, she's
over
amazing.
This. Because it is this idea that actually motherhood, you know, it is, I believe, and I suspect she believes too, we haven't had a conversation, but, you know, motherhood's the foundation of society. If we can't be allowed to parent properly, if we're not given that flexibility, if we're pushed into a situation where we're all just so stressed that we're just like burning out left, right and centre, then that is going to have an impact on our children. There are going to be implications for the future. And I just love everything that she puts out. And then, you know, there are so many communities for, you know, really great communities for freelance parents. And I thank God for all of them. I'm in most of them.
Are you? I'm going to have to join some, because I literally feel that pressure every single day. And you're constantly, it's like you're constantly on a hamster wheel, isn't it? You're constantly going and going and going and then burning out, but you never feel like you're doing quite enough, because you're having to do all of the things at once. It's that saying of you can do everything. No, what is it? You can do anything but not everything. But it feels like you're failing at everything. Like I don't know about you, feel as though I'm failing as a mother because I'm always working. But also failing at working because I'm trying to be a good mother. So it's difficult, isn't it?
And it's really hard. And I think, you know, I would never sort of advocate that having a business when or trying to grow or start a business when you're a mum is the right path for everybody, because it isn't. But I do think we're at a stage where actually, even if you have a corporate job, you are bringing that work home.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, the phones have just destroyed that boundary. And so it is really hard, and the mum guilt's real. Like, you know, I question it, and sometimes I have days where I feel like I'm really winning, and it lasts for about 10 minutes. And then an hour later I could be like, oh my God, I'm just messing all of this stuff up, and that's kind of the roller coaster that we're on, because there is just so much pressure. But I think if you are ambitious, and I don't mean ambitious in the kind of Richard Branson sense, I just mean ambitious as in, like, if you want to do stuff,
you have a purpose.
If you feel, exactly. If you have a kind of just you see something and you feel like you could make the world better in some way, or you have a skill or a talent that you could apply and make a business out of, you know, there's also this element of we want to kind of show our kids that that's possible. And I think the busyness at the moment, the way things are because of all the pressures from school or from work or whatever, is kind of the price we pay for the freedom and the flexibility that it gives us. And I know there are an awful lot of mums who, like you say, are not wealthy, but actually they've kind of reframed it in their head, thinking, well, whilst my kids are small, I'm with them. As much
it's like
as
a
I
different
want to
kind
be.
of wealth, isn't it?
Like
I'm on every school run, every sports day, every meeting or whatever random thing they announce the day before that's got to happen. Whereas working parents can't make it to these things because they can't just say the day before, you know, I've got to go to this thing tomorrow, so I need some time off.
And that breeds guilt for them in that way. You know, because they feel like they're missing these key moments, like I can't make your nativity because I've got a meeting I need to be at. And so at least if you have your own business, you have the autonomy to make those decisions and make your work around you rather than the other way around. And also you've got more, you can be more emotionally available. I feel so sorry for mums that are coming home at like 6:30, getting the kids, feeding them, putting them to bed. Because they're shattered. You know, they drop them off at breakfast club at 7:30 in the morning. There's no time for like just organic bonding with your child. You know, it's just sort of get your dinner in your mouth. Read your story, do your homework, go to bed. And really then there's so much pressure on weekends as well. You know, you've got to have all the fun. And that can just feel just quite intense, I think, for mums who have that sort of working schedule. I do also think that people have an assumption that those that are self-employed and run a business have it easy because they just sit at home with their cup of tea, just, you know, having a jolly and all of that. And it's not like that at all. And I think I've been phasing nursing out for quite a long time. I've gone from full-time down to 15 hours to try and phase it out a bit, thinking that it would be an easier life for me. And in fact, I've made my life harder by doing that because I've gone from working 37.5 hours at nursing, leaving the hospital, going home, and then that's it, closed, don't have to do anything else, to now working 24/7. Because even at 3:00 in the morning, when I wake up and I realise that I've forgotten to reply to that email to one of my clients or whatever, it's like you're just constantly going, isn't it? It can be like that. And I think social media it can be a tricky one there because I think it's getting better, certainly, than it was like 2 or 3 years ago. Is that when the whole like mum boss thing happened? When people were like, I work 1 hour a day and I earn £1 million. Yeah, and it's like, it was all a fib to get people to join up to whatever it was they were trying to sell. I'll show you. Honestly, the amount of DMs I get per day, like, do you want to buy this course that's ready-made and sell it? And you only have to work on it for an hour a day and you earn this much. And I'm like, that's absolute bollocks. But that's it. I think we're coming out of that, hopefully. And I think also consumers on social media are much more savvy than they were during COVID when this stuff was all kind of at its peak. And there's nothing wrong with that if it's adding actual value. But of course there are kind of scammers. But I think more so just this idea that there are mums out there who are easily having 10k months. And also there a drop off and pick up, and also, you know, all their ironing's done, and you know the house. Well, if I was earning 10k a month, I would be paying someone to do my ironing. But then they don't share that. They probably are. But then it's not shared. I think this is the thing about, you know, being able to do anything but not everything. You know, those women have often, you know, that fine if they've got to that point, then that's fantastic. Good for them. You know, that's brilliant. But then they aren't doing it all. They can't be. You know, there is someone dealing with the cobwebs in the corner of their house, and there is someone else, perhaps, you know, they might have a nanny. All sorts of things might be going on behind the scenes. And I think now you're starting to see that shared. Whereas 2 or 3 years ago it wasn't. And I think that's the thing as well. Like, I'm really interested in sharing people's stories. You know, women who are mums and are just starting out or are in it and are happy to kind of share what they do and what they can offer, but also the challenges and the struggles, and that it's not always easy, and that there are compromises. You know, this thing about, you know, your kids just want your attention, but you really have to go and send that email.
Yeah.
And there's this like tension, and you feel torn, and perhaps some days you feel like you're really not nailing it. And then there are days when you feel like, actually, you know, today was all right.
Yeah.
And you had a big win in work.
Yeah.
And you pick your kids up in a good mood, and then you took them for ice cream, and you were the best mum in the world. And, you know, it's all ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
I feel like that's motherhood generally, though.
Yeah. It's such a roller coaster, isn't it? And then add in having a business in there as well. It's just like, whoa. But I personally would say it's so worth it, because it does mean that you can be present.
Yeah.
And although it's a slog and it's hard work, it just enables you to just be there. And also, I hate working for people. I hate being told what to do.
I'm not very good at that either. And it's this thing of like, oh yeah, just having to like put your hand down and say, please, may I go on holiday?
Yeah.
Just like, no. And yeah, I think once you've had a taste of it, it's quite hard to go back to that.
Definitely.
But yeah, there's massive freedom to be had, and there's such joy in that. And you can be more spontaneous.
Yeah.
You know, and then you just learn how to kind of like fit the fun in when you have perhaps like a quieter dip in work.
Yeah.
And then when you have to really ramp things up, it's just communicating and saying, look, mum's busy for like a month.
Yeah.
Mum's got a lot on. But then, you know, you can plan something for after that.
Yeah.
And you just kind of learn to navigate it.
Yeah.
But I just think as well, your kids, especially because I've got daughters, I know you've got a daughter.
Yeah.
Like emulating to your children, to your girls, that they can do a thing. Like if there's something that is, sounding really American than this phrase, like something that's on your heart.
Yeah.
But something that you feel like you've got a passion for, and you feel sort of all the imposter syndrome that we all do about like, who am I to do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually you can, like, it's just baby steps, like not too much pressure, just sort of dip your toe in. And if it gets some traction, like run with it, because the reward could be amazing.
Yeah, definitely. When my daughter found out, because I didn't really talk to her much about like the prep for my show my live show that I did, and like the day before or something, she was like, wait, mummy, you're getting on stage in front of people and doing a show. And like, it just occurred to me that she must be thinking like, oh, like my mummy's doing a show. And I hope that now teaches her that she can do anything like that. And in our house, I'm the breadwinner. So back in the day with our parents, often mums didn't have an income because they weren't working. They never went back to work after maternity leave. And I love that I'm teaching my daughter that she can be the main income earner in her house and still be present. Like, I just love that she's now got that going forward.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, love it. And my son as well, like teaching him that he can do anything. So
yeah, but also that if he meets a girl one day, if he's that way inclined, and she's got ideas and drive and she wants to do things, that he'll look and he'll have a precedent for that, and he'll respect that, because that's what my mum did.
You don't want him to be like threatened by a successful woman that's maybe earning more. So I love that. So if there's someone out there that's worried about starting a business, maybe has this idea in their head but they don't know how to start, what would you say as a tip to try and get them going?
I would say don't put too much pressure on yourself to have it all figured out. We are all making it up as we go along. We do not have all the answers. I would say what's been really helpful for me, particularly around this podcast, you know, photography is one thing, and I feel, you know, I've been doing that for a long time. I feel confident in that, but confidence doesn't just occur. Like, it comes with practice. And I think just taking small actions, you know, just widening your comfort zone rather than like feeling like you've got to dive all in is a really sensible way to start if you feel any anxiety about it. But also like surrounding yourself with other mums or women who are doing it, because I think it can be quite hard. I've spoken to a few women who've kind of come out of corporate jobs or quite institutionalized roles, even into their 40s, and actually making that pivot from what because it becomes your identity, your job, doesn't it? You know, if you worked in a bank, and then there was one particular lady, she'd worked in a bank for over 20 years, and then she, in her 40s, decided she was going to become a somatic healer. Which is very cool. She'd done it, she loved it. But that's a transition. And inevitably you're going to have fears over what people will think. You know, if you set up an Instagram account and you're like, oh, I'm a somatic healer, like, you know, that can almost stop some people from doing it. Yeah. Because we all are conscious of what our, you know, immediate circle, or, you know, friends from school, anybody, you know, people from years ago. Yeah. And I think if you can get yourself into a community or surround yourself with women who are doing it and understand your motivation and will be encouraging and supportive of you, then that's worth its weight in gold. Yeah. Because you need to, and even your partner might be like, what are you doing? You know, you've had this steady income and now you want to do what? Yeah. You know, and that's hard. That's a hard conversation to have. And a lot of, you know, your immediate family might just be concerned for you. It's not that they don't believe in you. It's just they don't really understand what you're doing. Yeah. Yeah. And so actually just to get yourself into a circle, into a world, and that might be online, where you have constant contact, if you want it, with people who are trying to do the same thing. Yeah. I think that really, really helps. Yeah, love that. And there's so much advice, and it's all about women bolstering each other up.
Yeah, love that. You've got to find your tribe, haven't you?
Exactly. That is probably the more succinct way of saying it.
Amazing. So you've got something fun to show us, so let's move on to show and tell.
Okay. So this is my brick.
Wow.
Of a camera. It's quite ugly, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's a very old school camera.
Yeah, it's not that old. It's from like the noughties, but it's film. So it's it's the old school stuff, and I brought a roll of film as well, so I'll just load it while I'm talking to you. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, for me, I suppose it's just this idea of like finding something you love, and you don't necessarily have to turn that into a business, but I mean, if you're tempted to, that's possible, and that you can enjoy your job. I love that. And this has been kind of my steady companion through all sorts of stuff, this camera, and it's a creative outlet. And I think a lot of mums, particularly in early motherhood, you kind of lose your sense of self in a way. We were saying before, like, you don't know what you like. You don't know what music you like to listen to, because you're just listening to Elsa and Anna way like you all the time. And so it's tricky. Yeah. But then if you can find a little creative outlet and it leads to a business, then great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Yeah. But if you're thinking that perhaps there is something that you want to do something differently, to just kind of play in an adult way and like just try a few different things.
I remember having a life coach when I was early motherhood days, because I was really struggling with finding my identity again. And she told me to look back to my childhood and think about what brought me like joy in childhood. And I was thinking about like being with my friends, painting. I'm like a very creative person, so I absolutely love to paint, and I hadn't done that for a really long time. And although I'm not starting a business with painting, I love to, when I'm feeling stressed, just get a canvas and just have a paint and spend time with my friends as well, because that's what I used to do. Me and my friends used to meet up and make dance routines, and now we meet up and do TikToks. So like just trying to take yourself back to what brought you joy in childhood and doing all of that again.
Yeah, and even, I mean, the creative outlet, like, it's headspace. If you can get yourself into something like painting, it's such like a flow state exercise, and it just like takes you out of your to-do list. You know, your brain is just challenged enough to like focus, but you're also really enjoying yourself, and you've got a bit of space to just sort of tick and tumble your other thoughts. And giving yourself a bit of room to breathe might help you get some clarity. And lead to something. And you know, there's no pressure. It's just, you know, about playing.
I do think we forget to play as adults. We get so caught up in work and life. And like, I'm going out on Saturday to Mamma Mia party. Oh my God, I'm so excited. And we're going to Swingers after, which is like a crazy golf and arcade place. And that's the kind of play that I love. Like days out that are fun, rather than, you know, just going out and having a chat, just fun things. And you just got to bring that play back into your life, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of it involves getting out of the house. I'm like, increasingly every weekend I'm just like, just need to get out of the house, because the house to a lot of women, especially mums, just represents all the things that you have to do. You know, there's the playroom's a shit tip, and there's the washing is piling up to the ceiling, and you can't actually breathe very easily in the house unless you're having one of those like wild once in a year moments where you feel on top of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just getting out of the house and just letting yourself go and letting yourself have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And this idea that work can be fun, and if you create a business that you feel passionate about, actually your work can be fun. Because I'm like you, I work late into the night. Yeah, often. But for me, it's like decompression. It's downtime. Yeah. No one's bothering me. I'm okay with it. And I feel like actually I really enjoy it. Yeah. And especially with the podcast, like, you know, I'm just back and forth with all these amazing mums doing brilliant things. And it just feels like play. Like you said, like playing with your friends.
You don't see it as work. Like right now, this is me working.
Yeah, I'm not having
I'm just day sitting here and having a chat with a cup of tea, but it's work. Yeah. So if you find something that you love and you get to earn money from that, then you're onto a winner.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. On that note, shall we do spin and spill with the wheel?
Okay.
So here it is. It's the spin and spill wheel. So we're going to give it a good spin and see what you get. Go ahead.
Nervous.
I'm nervous. Oh, no. Do you know why I'm saying, oh, no? Because this story is really freaking bad. It's really bad.
Right.
So this got submitted to me about a month ago, and we haven't landed on Rank Bank since it's been submitted, and I'm scared about this one. I'm really sorry in advance to those listening and watching. Trigger warning, maybe don't.
Oh God, I'm like so interested.
Poor Josh sitting over there as well. This is a gross story. Okay, so this is mega gross. Like, I've heard some of your stories and I'm pretty sure this tops them all. It wasn't me that it happened to. It was a friend of mine, but she'd never submit this, so I'm submitting it for her. Lovely. Her husband had an abscess just above his willy. He was on antibiotics and was on the mend, but they got down and dirty. They were doing good old pull-out method, and my friend was clearing up the mess. God, I don't even know how to say this in a nice way. She was clearing up this mess with her tongue, but she stopped because it started to stink and taste bitter. They turned the light on, and not only had he done the deed, but his abscess had burst. So what she was licking was a mixture of both of his bodily fluid types. That is actually revolting. I've had some stories on this podcast. I've had people having condoms stuck in them, drinking through tampon straws. That is the worst one I've ever heard.
That's horrendous.
Because you're
that
eating.
Poor friend.
Yeah.
I mean, at least she's not named, but still.
I know.
Yeah.
She just ate pus.
Yeah.
I would never be able to go back down there ever again. That would be the end of blowjobs forever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's a good thing because now she's off the hook for life.
I think that's bold, though. I'd have been like, let's wait till you're cured up, shall we?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Ugh. Maybe she thought that the antibiotics meant that it was good.
She was misled.
It was good to go.
He would know.
Oh my God. That is. But imagine though. Imagine it's dark and you taste.
Oh, don't.
God.
Let's move on.
I feel a little bit sick now. So some of these Rank Bank stories are absolutely disgusting, and all of them contain bodily fluid because that's what's rank. That's just what's rank about it. Although we have had quite a few dog poo ones as well. Kids eating dog poo.
Yeah.
Have you had any rank stories in your motherhood journey?
I feel like there's so much, isn't there?
There's probably all poo related.
It's all poo related. Yeah, I was thinking about this in the car on the way down. I was like, if I got that one, what would I say? And it's all about shit.
Yeah.
And it's something that I didn't expect would be such a feature in my life.
Yeah.
You know, when you think, oh, I'm going to be a mum, this is so exciting.
It's
I
so
just didn't think that it would be
so
toilet
lovely.
heavy, like so toilet heavy. And my kids are at the age where like they're obsessed with talking about it.
Oh yeah,
like
I just, my son likes to show me every poo that he does.
Yeah,
and he'll say what shape it looks like. Yeah. This morning it was a number 10. Wow, because it was like a line and a circle. He was like, "Mum, look, it's a number 10." I was like, "Thanks for letting me know. That's lovely."
So nice. So yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of specific ones. I think there was definitely a phase in our lives when the kids, it felt like almost every night we're shitting in the bath.
Oh yeah, I never had that happen, right? Until my daughter was about 2.5, 3, and she did it for the first time, and I was so shocked by it that I was like, I don't know what to do with this. But then it happened a few times after that, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. No, we had a period of months where it was almost like expected.
Yeah.
And
lovely.
it depends really on, again, not to go into too much detail, but the consistency.
Oh, yeah.
And especially when you've got two and one does it in the bath and it's like action stations to get the other one out.
I know.
It's really awful to be swimming in your siblings' poo.
It's okay if it's a solid lump, though, because you can fish it out and just carry on bathing.
And then you're like, is this hygienic? Because like,
are they bathing in shit water now? What's going on?
I got that quite quickly, so I feel like we're going to carry on with this bath. And there are other times where you're like, oh my God, what have you
like
eaten?
The fluff.
And it's all just like a brown bath.
My son did one of those poos in the paddling pool once.
Oh, God.
And I was like, what is all this stuff? Like, I was looking at the trees. I was like, where is this coming from? And then I realised it was coming from him. And I was like, that does not even look like poo. Like, it was just gross.
Was this like just a family paddling pool situation, or were
no, it was
people present?
It was the two kids in the paddling pool. So thankfully I was not in there. Yeah. But we then had to empty the whole paddling pool and oh God, start again.
And also filling a paddling pool is a faff in itself.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I'd be cross just about the inconvenience.
Yeah. And it's not as if I could just get a sieve and fish it out, because it was literally,
oh my God,
it was liquid. So that was really, really fun. Yeah. But yeah, nobody tells you about all the poo. Like before having children, I did not know that poonamis were a thing. Mm-mm. I did not know that they could literally shit from their feet to their head.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. And when it happens to you for the first time, you're like hoping that's an anomaly.
Yeah.
And it just keeps this was the thing with the bath.
I called my husband on the first one and I was like, I actually don't know what to do.
But as a first mum, you think, oh, there's something wrong with the baby.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, this is just my life.
Babies. It's just babies. And it's fine when they do it at home and you can just chuck them in the bath. Yeah. It's when they do it when you're out and about that you're like, I don't actually know how to deal with this right now.
Have not replenished the stock of stuff in your bag, and you like have to find another mum and be like, do you have a vest?
I've used my entire packet of wipes. Do you have any more?
Yeah, exactly.
Or they've done it in the car seat and you've got to try and get them home even though there's shit all in the car seat fabric.
Yeah. And then actually taking the fabric off a car seat and
trying to figure out how to put it back on.
Yes. Yeah. That's like a day's labour.
Why do they make
this
that?
This is all the unpaid labour that we do as parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's hard work, isn't it? And speaking about changing nappies, we're about to head over and do stroller speedway and you're about to change a nappy again. How are you feeling?
Terrified.
You'll be fine. It's Malteser stuff spread at the moment, so it's not as bad as that gross yellow punami stuff that babies do.
Okay.
Yeah, let's head over. Here we are at Stroller Speedway. How are you feeling about doing this?
Terrified.
Honestly, you're going to be absolutely fine. You've only got 2 minutes and 7 to beat to not be at the bottom. So I reckon you're going to be absolutely fine.
I feel like I should be good at it because my youngest was only potty trained like 6 months ago.
There you go.
But then that's like, I just feel like the pressure's going to get to me.
Yeah, although George Crossland, who's at the top, his kids are like older now and have been out of nappies for a while and he's at the top.
Never lost the knack. Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? So the situation is you've put your baby in the pushchair. She's done a punami, standard babies. So you're going to take her out, change her, clean her as clean as you'd like your own baby to be. Put her new cloth nappy back on, do her vest up, put her back in, slalom that way, and touch my shoulder to finish. Happy?
Okay. So happy.
I'll give you, you've got this. I'll give you a little countdown to start and then we'll get going. Ready?
No, go on.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, gosh.
Straight in there.
Nice.
Do you know, you're lucky this isn't Stroller Speedway Extreme. On the show that I just did, I was right now lobbing balls and feathers and confetti.
Gosh. Baby.
Don't know what baby's eaten.
Yeah, I know. What is this?
That right there is Maltesers
I was going to
spread.
say, it's got that like, sort of strange baby texture chunks and, it's delicious.
So we've gone from Nutella to peanut butter to Maltesers because I was aware that people might have nut allergies.
Yeah, I mean, that's very good of you.
And Maltesers has not got nuts in.
Oh my God.
Fun fact.
Is awful.
You're doing good.
Awful.
You're only at 40 seconds, so you've still got time. You're doing
as clean
well.
as I like my
As
own
clean
baby.
as you'd like your own
Am I in
child.
the sort of mood? Oh my gosh, it's everywhere.
Oh, look, there's some leftover peanut butter there from last time. Yummy.
You need to be giving your baby a bath.
That's my daughter's job. She normally baths her for me.
I mean, as clean. I feel like I've got 2 nappies worth here, so that's as
There
clean
you go.
as I'm
That's
happy
pretty
for it to be that
clean.
clean.
That's pretty clean.
Okay, what's going on here? Where are you? There we go.
You are at 1 minute, so you're not top of the
I've also
leaderboard.
put the
And you're
old
also
nappy back
putting
on.
the dirty nappy back on.
I couldn't tell it was the wrong way around, so she's going with like an inside out dirty nappy.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And round and round. Oh my god. And round. Oh. Oh. Ah.
Okay. You've not done too badly, but you have.
But she has got a filthy nappy.
Could you imagine?
It's not filthy on the inside.
If on your own kid you just turn, that's the kind of thing men do when they've got dirty pants and they want to wear them again. They just turn them inside out and put them back on again. But the outside of that nappy's covered in shit.
The outside is covered in shit. And now her pram's covered in shit.
Imagine doing
I'm so
that.
sorry, baby. And I feel so bad. I'm going to change it. I feel awful for her.
Imagine doing that on your actual baby.
Yeah,
like
well, I
putting a
wouldn't.
poopy nappy on the wrong way
Right.
around.
Let's sort
But
it
you
out,
are
baby.
at 1 minute 27. So you're
Okay.
sitting down here, which isn't too bad.
That's fine.
That's
I'll
kind of
take
in the
that.
middle-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And she's clean now.
And
I've
she's
put
all
her-
clean
put her
now.
back in a new nappy.
Lovely. Poor Annabelle, bless her.
So sorry.
I know, she's been a bit traumatised by her life in this studio.
I can imagine.
There we go. Well done.
Thanks.
Let's head back over. So, how was your stroller speedway? You didn't do too badly, other than putting the nappy on inside out.
Yeah, that was like the biggest fail. I'm a bit upset as well. No one else has done that yet.
Yeah, no, you're the first.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, other than that,
Yeah.
I'm okay. I feel like I'm okay. I'm middling.
Yeah,
that's
you're-
okay. But that's terrible, isn't it?
I
felt so
feel-
bad for her. And
I
I was
know.
like, she's not a real baby. It doesn't matter.
But also, the poo was on the outside. It wasn't touching her. So
and the pram.
yeah, that
There was
pram.
some
If that was
collateral
real
damage.
poo, that pram would have been done for. We'd have to be stripping it off and putting it all in the wash now. But yeah, I think you'd notice if you were changing an actual baby's nappy.
Well, also, I wouldn't have been under the same pressure to perform.
You don't know.
And I
You
would
could have been
taken the time
on the way out
to
the
sort
door
that out.
to like do a school run or something, and you've just put the nappy on the wrong way.
It's one of those parenting moral dilemmas. Like, can I get away with this for
Yeah.
20 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not.
Yeah. But yes, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been a really interesting conversation. I think so many people out there will be in the same boat and will be in that stage of their life where they're like, what do I do with my life? Do I go back to work? Do I start a business? What do I do? So yeah, could you let everyone know where we can find your page, your podcast and all of that?
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram. So my account is Victoria_Phipps. But if you would like to listen to the podcast, it's Mum Means Business.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find that on Apple or Spotify, wherever you listen, or on YouTube. And the Instagram account is Mum Means Business Podcast.
Love that. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for everybody for watching and listening at home. Please do subscribe, download, give us a comment, let us know what you thought of today's episode, and we'll see you soon.